G'day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arif Suhardi, along with other of the members of my group, Rahma Shoumi, Arif Barlaman, and Lavida Latifatul Qolbi, here to present our literary work analysis, Sure Thing, by David Ives. For the introduction to literature, offering C. Our analysis are from a drama levels, which is the text level, performance level, and transformation level. I would like to introduce about the play that we're going to discuss. The play is called Sure Thing, and it's a one-act play by David Ives as part of the All in the Timing collection. It is an opening of the play and was performed at Broadway in 1993, along with other plays in the collection. In this presentation will use several references, such as from the performance by Joshua Paradis and Partridge, and also the interview with David Ives in the YouTube video titled Crafting Comedy with David Ives. The plot and the setting of this play is on a Friday night in a lonely cafe, where Bill met a woman named Betty who read a book alone. Bill asked the woman if she waited for someone. He asked some trivial thing like where she was from or what book she read. Every time he sees a false answer or questioned, a bell rang and then suddenly refers to the start of the topic. Then, Bill proclaimed that he was a fan of the book that she read. Bill would continue to the next topic if the conversation was making her satisfied. Bill continued to repeat the conversation when he asked Betty, the woman, about someone she's supposed to meet. And after that, Bill invited Betty to the cinema, but she rejected. After some repetition, Betty finally accepted Bill's invitation and he confessed that he likes Betty. The character and the characterization in this play are Bill and Betty. Bill is the main character of the play and he met Betty at a cafe to try to take her attention. Betty is the woman in the cafe, but at first she looks like a nonchalant woman who focused on reading a book, but actually talkative and an enthusiast about things that she likes. The topics of discussion in this presentation are the analysis, where we analyze the importance of bells and in a few drama levels, such as the text level, the performance level, and also transformation level. Here in the text level, we will discuss about the functions, the topics such as the functions to repeat the conversation, it marks the relationship progress between Bill and Betty, and to give chances to repair the errors and mistakes in their conversation, and a tool for connecting Bill and Betty into a relationship. For this topic, I would like to hop over to Arif Barlaman to explain the material. Arif Barlaman, the time is yours.
Thank you, Arif Suhardi. I'm Arif Barlaman, will presenting the text level of the play. The first involvement of the bell is in the first few dialogue of the play when Bill started a conversation with Betty in which Bill asked Betty about the unoccupied seat next to her table. In the script, after Betty answered that the seat is for someone, the bell would start to ring. Then the dialogue comes back to the part when Bill asks about the seat. Starting from then, the conversation that both Bill and Betty had will keep repeating until it progresses. From this, we can see that the bell serves as something. To rewind the conversation, the bell can only seem to rewind the conversation back to the start of it, as we see that each time the conversation turns sour, it always goes back to where Bill asks, "Is this chair taken?" unless Betty approves it so. And the fourth bell ring. After many attempts for Bill to sit next to Betty, she finally approved him to sit beside her. Then they talk about the cafe and then about the book that Betty reads. Bill asked her about the title of the book, but she asked him to let her read it quietly. The bell then triggers again and it rewinds to the part where they talk about the cafe and the book. This might indicate that the bell can only rewind only the part where a new topic is being talked. This also implies that their relationship is progressing. And the bell serves another purpose, as an indication that their conversation is progressing. Because from that part, it didn't rewind to the part when Bill asks about the unoccupied seat rather to the part when he asks about Betty's book. This not only happened to this part alone, but to the majority of the play. In an interview, David Ives mentioned that the bell was originally used to help him write the play. He first thought of it as an indicator to write certain part of the dialogue, but he realized that it makes the script funnier.
All in the Timing was a series of 6 short plays, several of which employed a bell in various ways. The most famous one, I suppose, is a play called Sure Thing, in which it's two people sitting at a table very like this, a guy and a girl on a lonely night out. They don't know each other. He strikes up a conversation with the woman, and every time one of them says something which is completely wrong in terms of ever getting together, a bell rings and they start all over. And so that is sort of the use of the bell. Where that came from was I actually wrote the idea for that play down many years before. In a notebook I wrote down just this: a play which is a conversation that shows all of the possible conversations two people can have. And so I sat on that for the longest time, and then one night I just thought, I think I know how to do that. And so I sat down and I started writing, but I didn't know, I knew that the conversation had to stop and start, but I didn't know how to stop and start it. So just to sort of mark time for myself, I thought, oh, well, I'll put in a bell, and then I'll figure this out later on. And then I started laughing every time the bell rang. And so I just kept the bell. And
From then on, he keeps the bell as an addition of the story. Because of it, we see the bell ring a lot in the script of the story. This in turn changes how Bill and Betty say during their conversation, thus making the bell serve another purpose to fix the error in Bill and Betty's conversation. This happens so frequently in the story, placing in different and often humorous outcomes. The final function of the bell this time is connecting the relationship between Bill and Betty. This function mostly occurs in the last part of the story. The last part of the story tells about resolution or completion of Bill point to get Betty is heard. The resolution starts after many bell ringings and Bill invites Betty to watch a movie in cinema with him. This time, the bell barely rings because the relationship of Billy and Betty becomes stronger. This time, the bell just rings when indicating something not right in the Bill and Betty's relation. In this last section, Bill has prepared many ways to convince Betty into watching a movie with him. Fortunately, Bill and Betty in the end have reached the same agreement about something that both really like. Their relationship so far does not have any problem, and there are no bell ringing suddenly. Once again, the last bell ringing when Bill discusses a movie. But after the bell, Bill and Betty probably have the same thought. This time, without the bell, the relationship between these two people finally reached a finishing step. The play ended with Bill who confessed his love and Betty who accept it. That's all for my presentation. Next, for transformation level, will be presented by Lavida Latifatul Qolbi. The time is yours.
Thank you, Hassan, for giving me the time. Now, my name is Latifatul Qolbi, and I would like to explain about transformation level. In this part of the presentation, we will use Time Diaring's adaptation of the play, available on YouTube, performed by Joshua Paradis and Caitlin Partridge. As we all know, Sure Things properties have minimalism look, but enjoyable enough for many people, as it only uses 2 chairs for the main actress Betty and main actor Bill to sit for. Also, the table and the cups that show they are in a cafe. Then, the book that was read by Betty and got talk with Bill to be one of their topics. Moreover, all of the properties correlated with the most important property, which is the bell. It indicates the character's wrong answer. They refer to a statement that was made that might have turned the other person off. And after a bell rings, the characters are back into the start of the conversation as if nothing has happened. It tries to revert back in time to correct the character's wrong answer and to have a second chance to make up their mistake. Their first dialogue shows Bill asking Patty whether the chair beside her is taken or not. Then Patty said that it has taken. So the bell rang, indicating the character's failure and the time reversed. It is played over and over again until the actor can finally sit in the chair beside the actress.
No, go ahead.
Second, the book with the title of The Sound and the Fury that talk about a stream of consciousness, written by William Faulkner, they talk about it, try to relate with each other by discussing this book. The first explanation made by Bill said about this book makes Patty to get bored, so the bell rang again and the time reversed. It is played over and over until Billy succeeds in explaining the book to Betty without making her get bored.
Page of gorgeous prose. His profound grasp of the mystery of time and human existence. Smells of the earth. What do you think?
I think it's pretty boring.
The last is the most important property in this play, the bell. At the beginning of the play, Betty and Bill are in conflict regarding their individuality. Every time they have different opinions that will clash one another, how individuality can at times be detrimental to the formation of a sound relationship. In this play, the bell is used every time that Bill or Betty makes a comment or shares an interest that was not well received by the other, and can have a second chance.
Nope. Straight down the ticket Republican. Straight down the ticket Democrat. Can I tell you something about politics? I like to think of myself as a citizen of the universe. So what if I spent a year in the Peace Corps? I was acting on my convictions.
Sure.
You just can't hang a sign on a person.
Absolutely. I bet you're a Scorpio.
It helps to make the relationship better. All of it shows that Sure Thing only has minimalism property but can make such a great place. Everyone enjoyed it, which is the simplicity of the chair, the book, and the important bell to indicate that mistakes can be recovered as long as we learn from it. It is not about the quantity of the property, but the quality. If minimalism is enough to make a good play, then it is enough. Now, I would like to give the time for Alice Rahma Shoumi to explain the performance level.
Thank you, Lavida, for giving me the chance. Okay, my name is Alice Shoumi. I'm going to explain the performance level on this drama. From other presenters, we know that the bell is not just important in both text level and transformation level, but also in performance level. Actors might change the way they use their acting method in each part after the bell rings. Where Betty asked Bill when he read The Sound and the Fury, it was repeated 3 times with different outcomes until the part where he said that he is from Harvard. He then explains his opinion about the book, and then gets turned off by Betty for saying it's boring. Another bell rang again and the conversation was rewinded back when Bill asked about the title. After Betty responded, Bill shouted in surprise, saying, "Oh, Faulkner?" Betty asked, "Do you like Faulkner?" Then Bill responded enthusiastically, "I love Faulkner," with both of his hands in the air. The rest of the part is they respond to each other at how good Faulkner books in a high enthusiasm, saying things about incredible psychological understanding and the mystery of time and human existence in unison.
Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner!
Do you like Faulkner?
I love Faulkner!
He's incredible.
I spent whole winter reading him once.
I was so excited after 10 pages, I went out and bought everything else he wrote.
All that incredible psychological understanding.
And the prose is so gorgeous.
Oh, and it's the way he's grasped mystery of time and human existence.
I can't believe I've waited this long to read him.
Oh, well.
However,
no.
just after they introduced themselves, they seemingly had no topics to talk about and put some small pauses. This, in return, makes the conversation more awkward, triggering the next bell. As an actor for Bill, Joshua Paradis managed to pull off some different things in the play. When he said that he was lying about going to college, he screamed that he liked to party in a very college chat-like way.
Where was college?
I was lying. I didn't really go to college. I just like to party. Woo!
Where was
And
college?
after a bell rang, he got back to his normal state. That the way he screamed like he likes to party seems internalized, as he gave this some sort of energy when doing it. This internalized method seems not only applied in this part alone, but also at the "oh, Faulkner" part and the rest of them. Other than internalize, since the bell has a behavior to rewind time, then a character needs to behave normally at that point of time. Here, the actors manage to do that, give some realistic outlook despite the humorous side effects. While for Betty's actor, Kathleen Partridge also used a similar method with Joshua. She used an internalized method that gives the character more expression. Despite that, also being focused as well. Some example of her being expressive is at the part when Bill asked Betty that she came to the cafe a lot. The question makes Betty annoyed. Then throughout the part, she rants about her relationship until the next bell rang.
Who's away in medical school in Belgium for a year and who you've been involved with off and on in what you'll call a very intricate relationship for the past 7 years. None of which interests me, mister.
Okay.
Then Betty acts normally. The bell certainly gives the actors a different approach in portraying the character, and it is apparent throughout the play. And now I will let Arif Suhardi to give conclusion about our explanation.
Thank you, Miss Alice Rahma Shoumi, and I would like to conclude this presentation of our analysis for Sure Play by David Ives. From the aspects in this play that our group has analyzed, we could definitely say that Sure Thing is worth to enjoy. With its unique presentation that other dramas do not have, like an easygoing story and twist and funny conversation that both characters have. The bell has many functions for the play and makes it different from other plays. And since then, we can see from that in the text level the bell function certain dialogue in order to make it more funnier. And in the transformation level, the bell is used as a property to support the play. And lastly, in performance level, the bell gives realistic and humorous effect in the performance inside the play. And for that reason why it makes the play more funny. It makes the play funny and enjoyable for everyone to watch. That's all for today's presentation. We from our group like to say thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I would like to say goodbye.